It's time to go into that right now. To the top left-hand side, our red Protoss player. This is Team Liquid's MaNa. Took down his opponent here in this final the other day in the WCS Challenger qualifier, DnS, 2-0. MaNa's PvP has been very fun to watch lately. A lot of aggressive builds, a lot of kind of fun little quirky all-ins. I've been enjoying watching him play as the PvP lately, so it's been a lot of fun. Excited to see how he's going to wrap things up today as we get this set and ready to go. Set and ready to party. Ooh, so exciting. So very exciting. So, as we get this underway, we have a look to see what's going to be happening here. Obviously in PvP we expect the double gateways to coming down on each side of the map. And just for now, the Protoss probes scouting around. Cybercore's about to finish, the second gate's finish up, and this is where we see the first choices of the game. Double Adept versus Double Stalker. It's already a bit of a difference between the two of them. Definitely for MaNa, I mean, Stalkers definitely suggest a more aggressive mid-game, maybe with Blink. Sometimes you can just go with straight-up Stalker pushes. Adepts don't give you that same sort of fighting power straight up, but they do give you that ability to try and dive in towards mineral lines. And they do cost a little bit less on the gas, so it does allow you to maybe go into maybe a Sentry Stalker follow-up. It maybe allows you to throw down your tech slightly faster. Let's see what happens. We do see a couple of Adepts just starting to shade over. From DnS, they'll go into two Stalkers behind it, and MaNa now goes into two Adepts, so it's kind of like the same route, or a different route to the same sort of end position. We'll see if DnS actually builds up a Stargate, though. He's chrono boosting his Warp Gate, so maybe throws down a pylon and a gateway across the map. That could definitely get fun and interesting, but shading into the first two Stalkers definitely isn't great, and if he loses one of these Adepts already, that would be a shame. Thank you so much, Rennick. Resub, thank you so much. Hope you're having a great day. Thank you for the continued support over the last 8 months for your subs, donations, and all the rest you've done. Do appreciate it, mate. Thank you so much for the 8 months. Oracle on the way up in the main base then from MaNa. We didn't see tech from DnS because he threw down a third gateway, so definitely the potential to get aggressive here with a bit of a push. The pylon will come into the top side for the slow warp-ins on at least MaNa's side of the map. And we do have these couple of Adepts and a couple of Stalkers from MaNa still pushing in. Try and see what you can do. 4 Stalkers responding from DnS, pushing those couple of Adepts, well, trying to push those couple of Adepts away, but not quite finding it just yet. There's the 2 Adepts going to hide behind this mineral line, and they're going to shade back out, as we do see. Coming back in, DnS just going to try and continue shutting this down, and, well, he's actually got the Stalkers already out the front, so he is going to be able to chase down for at least 1 kill. He's actually going to run into this Oracle if MaNa doesn't change direction, but he did, so he doesn't see the Oracle yet. This last Adept falls. Does he have a defense against an Oracle? Yes. In the main base mineral line, he has a shield battery. And I think MaNa has to be a little bit careful because DnS warping in aggressively. This Oracle won't get a lot done because the shield battery is here, which will heal up probes. So by the time the energy of the Oracle is drained, he'll maybe have killed like 5 workers, when usually you would have expected like maybe this entire mineral line to die. And you can see that right now. This Oracle, yes, it can sit here and eventually get the kills, but it takes absolutely forever. To the point where it might not even be worth it. DnS is pushing in. The shield battery on the low ground wasn't ready. Now coming up the ramp, he has control of the ramp. He can kill the pylon. That's going to stop further warp-ins beyond the 2 that have just finished up. And that's going to be an issue as well. Probes pulling forwards here to try and fight those Stalkers, but DnS backs away. He's now starting to target the shield battery as he comes back, knowing that's going to be a major kind of factor in this continued defense. He's already killed 5 probes, but MaNa's losing so much mining time as well, on top of the fact that he's losing workers. And MaNa now, he's not really, I guess he didn't really need income to build because he couldn't build because the gates were unpowered. So I guess it kind of makes sense to keep bringing those Stalkers in. He loses a Stalker without getting a kill. The Adept in the front tanked so much damage here. And now pushing through. Well, MaNa has to pull probes once more, but it's DnS who's definitely in full control of this at the moment. GG, DnS takes game number 1 of this best of 5. Game number 2. Let's kick this off and see what's going to happen as we see to the top left-hand side of the map. Our red Protoss player who's down a game. This is Team Liquid's MaNa. And his opponent to the bottom right-hand side from Cascade, it's DnS. Protoss versus Protoss in this grand final. as we get set up and we get ready to see what's going to happen moving on from here. And we look to see if DnS can keep this lead, extend it, or if MaNa can tie us up and reset us down to just 3 games to determine who will win. I have no idea what you guys are all talking about in the chat. You're talking about so many different things today, but it's great to see so many of you talking, I have to say, and not being timed out and stuff, which sometimes happens. It's great to see so many just discussing StarCraft, and even if there's a bit of balance in there or whatever, it's good to see you all chatting and taking part in the chat. That's what I like to see, bring you guys together to talk StarCraft and all the rest of it. It's always a lot of fun, so hope you guys are having fun today. I've had a really good weekend streaming. I've had a really good week and a half of streaming, honestly. I've really had a great time the last little while. Just the combination of a lot of different bits and pieces. I mean, we had a very good time casting WCS qualifiers last weekend. We've had some great streams since then. We had the WardiTV Invitational 3, which was a lot of fun. Even yesterday, we just casted some replays from the WardiTV Invitational, and you know, I really didn't think that for a set of replay casts we would get so many viewers, but we peaked at like 700, 750 viewers. Like, so many of you tuned in. It was crazy. It's so awesome to see when you guys just tune in for like just content that I just don't expect so many people to show up for. It's really sick. Really sick. Anyways, guys, we set up here, and it is once again for the early game, 2 gates apiece. I mean, there isn't a map in the map pool right now where it makes sense to skip the double gate. Maps like Dust Towers, Proxima Station, when you had the in-base expand, would allow you to go 1 gate expand. It would allow you to go 1 gate tech, because your opponent wouldn't scout it and they wouldn't be able to punish it. And so it's that lack of information that was so powerful. But now, double gate is just obviously the way to go. There's just the meta is there. It makes a lot of sense. It's very powerful. I mean, there's a reason we've been seeing this in the entirety of Legacy of the Void. There really is. So no surprise here just yet, as we see 2 Stalkers on the way on each side of the map. We do see a Twilight Council coming down for DnS at the moment, so he's going straight into this, and this could be aggression once again. I mean, maybe even just a DT rush is a possibility with how fast this Twilight is. I mean, it's either a DT rush or Blink with this many Stalkers that are being produced. And this game, by the way, both players build 4 Stalkers. They don't go 2 Stalkers, 2 Adepts, or 2 Adepts, 2 Stalkers. They just go for straight before Stalkers, so both being aggressive. With 2 more gates from MaNa, he's going to straight up 4 gate. Go straight up 4 gate against, if this is DTs, it will hit quickly, but if 1 DT gets out, it can be a complete game changer. Dark Shrine coming down. Okay, well, the good thing for DnS is that he will still expand, right? I was going to say that he won't expand, but he will, because a DT play still allows you to get the Nexus, so that's a little bit concerning. The probe, though, DnS is so close to seeing the probe. He moves forwards, he sees the pylon. Oh, that's amazing, because now he doesn't just see the probe, he knows that MaNa intends to be aggressive. The probe lives, which is nice. Another pylon can come up. The information alone from DnS is just amazing there. As the Stalkers are hunting for another pylon, they're not going to find it yet. The Stalkers and MaNa will have to be nearby to protect. Shield battery for MaNa in the main. That doesn't protect him from DTs, though. DnS has his own pylon coming up very close to the front for the aggressive DTs. And of course, warping in DTs defensively will work wonders as well in this now. Man, PvP really has become so cheesy and aggressive lately. It's kind of insane. We saw it in that first game already, and now we're seeing it again in game 2. 4 gate versus the Dark Templar play. The DT Shrine is going to finish, and again, 1 warping of DT at home, 1 warping of DT across the map. This is a game-ending moment because MaNa just doesn't have detection up, and how will he get detection up? Well, maybe you could hide a Robo over here. That is a possibility. He could hide a Robo here or there. 1 DT will warp in aggressively for now. He doesn't have the money to warp in another DT yet. There's so many Stalkers. I think you just force field the ramp, hold 1 base. I mean, I guess you don't even need the DT at home at the moment. I think MaNa's best chance is to build this Robo over here. But where's this probe gone? His probe's moving forwards. He does start up a Robo facility. Maybe realizing what's going on, but it's going to be a little bit late because here we go, the DT. He needs to get Stargate to work. He's going to work his way through probes. I mean, you can see the Robo on the way up. This is going to get a bit intriguing, right? Because the Robo will come up here. It looks as though he'll maybe get an Observer out. Force field is good from DnS to keep on defending. He's got an Immortal out too, so he's starting to get this defensive setup home that will keep him alive here. Gets that Stalker that was stuck on the ramp. The probe can't continue to drop. MaNa will save up the money for an Observer so that DTs alone will not win DnS this game. I think it's more than just the DTs at this point, and MaNa knows it. He just can't break through and do enough damage. And so even if he gets an Observer out, it's not going to be the game changer. DnS and see if it will be. To the top right-hand side, our red Protoss player from Team Liquid. This is MaNa. He's up against the blue Protoss player to the bottom left side of the map from Cascade, DnS. Okay then guys, we're off and away into what could be our final game of the night from this tournament. After this, it all could be decided already. Isn't that insane that we could already have this decided finish? Like, that is just absolutely insane. If you ask me, I just can't quite believe it. So, yeah, excited to see how it turns out as we do have a couple of gates on the way down. Cybercore's coming through. Can MaNa pull this back? Everything he's tried so far just hasn't quite been there. He's not quite had the luck in terms of the build orders. He didn't quite have detection for the DTs. You know, he didn't have, in game number 1, the setup to really deal with the 3 gates of DnS. Everything's just hitting him kind of a little bit kind of as a surprise. He's not really been able to scout what's going on in DnS. Keeping it different each game, keeping it aggressive, has made it very tough for MaNa to keep track. Now this game, both players open Stalker Sentry. And that immediately is a big difference from what we've been seeing, because with the Sentry, you get hallucinations. Hallucinations mean scouting. And so you can actually see what your opponent's doing a lot more confidently. MaNa throws down a fast robo though, and MaNa does like a build where he goes for a 3rd gate with this robo, and he actually ends up still building a ton of Stalkers, and then using those Stalkers to obviously come through and to kind of, you know, with the Ward Prism, kind of micro around and try and break through his opponents. So we'll see if that's something he's planning for here. As for now, he makes it look as though he wants a Nexus, but obviously that robo will slow him down from expanding. As DnS is just like, hey, you know what? Let's throw down a couple of extra gates. He's going to go up to 4 gates himself. He's like, okay, you wanted to 4 gate me? I'll 4 gate you. How about that? Huh? Huh? What do you think? What do you think about the 4 gate, eh? Well, let's see if it works out for DnS better than it did for MaNa. MaNa is expanding, but with this faster robo, surely an Immortal can just pop out here. Is it an Immortal? Yes, it is. An Immortal is so important for him at this stage of the game. Somehow, DnS's probe is just able to stay alive off to the side. Comes and throws down a pylon. Couple more Stalkers going to come up here and just keep on gathering together. As we are going to be seeing those units continue to gather up. Stalkers here, just going to be setting up on the high ground on the natural. And we are going to be having this army of DnS going to get ready to potentially push on in to see if he can end this. But again, that one Immortal is so awesome. The only thing that would be better right now for MaNa would be a shield battery on the low ground to help him defend that front line. DnS can still get a lot done here just for sheer positioning. If that Immortal isn't careful, actually, if he can hit a force field to block the Immortal away from the Stalkers, this actually could still be very deadly, of course, from DnS. Don't get me wrong, the Immortal helps, but it can still go very wrong if MaNa isn't careful. DnS arrives. A pylon should be one of the main targets here, because killing the pylon means that you're going to be able to get rid of, you know, just a supply block potentially. It means that you potentially stop extra units coming in. Hallucination, I still don't like where this Immortal is. With this Sentry available, I guess he just used the hallucination, so he doesn't actually have the energy, so it doesn't matter. If he had the energy still, he would have been able to maybe force heal that Immortal out, but I guess the Prism here makes it safe enough anyways. The Stalker's coming down the right to fight this. Guardian Shield's cancelled. Well, actually, he comes back out of the Prism with Guardian Shield on it again. I guess you don't see sentries jump into War Prism so often. We're going to be seeing this fight continues. The Guardian Shield definitely helps. Now there's a force field available. I'm not sure how much that really kind of changes things. The thing is, DnS has done a lot of damage to this Nexus. He's made good progress against the Immortal. It's so low. One shot, one misplay by MaNa, and the Immortal goes down. And that's a game changer still at this point in the game, as that Immortal is somehow still alive. He gets the Nexus kill though, and that's one of the most important things. He gets the Immortal too. DnS maximizes the damage dealt here. Obviously, a lot of units going down for him as well, but I mean, that's a good start. Resets this to 1 base and resets the Immortal count to 0, soon to be 1 again. Just keeps the tech of MaNa in control within reason. We do see Stalkers pulling back, and oh my god, MaNa, he's just off into the middle of the map. What on earth is this? Absolute disaster. Sentries go down, and that is an absolute game changer. He loses everything. The War Prism goes down, so the Immortal is abandoned on its own. And MaNa is going to lose everything. Why was he in the middle of the map? I don't think he was meant to be. And it takes DnS less than 18 in-game minutes